Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and if you are new here, hello, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing, and if you are back, welcome back. Today I'm here to join you guys for a WIP and Chat. WIP stands for Work in Progress, and Chat stands for Chat. So feel free to whip out your WIP and work alongside me. I'm going to be working on a diamond painting this evening, and just chatting with you guys, kind of catching you up on what I've been up to this week and that sort of thing. And I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments what you're up to while we hang out today. So whether it's diamond painting, cleaning, running errands, just sitting and literally watching me, which, speaking of, you guys, I am at the request. I've had this request a few different times. Some people saying that they'd really love to see maybe a little bit up closer when I'm diamond painting, maybe try out some different angles just for the people that are watching while I paint. So playing around just a little bit. I hope I'm not going to throw you guys off too much, but we'll see. I'll see what I can do to maybe make this, for those of you that do like watching me actually place diamonds, maybe I can get a little closer to what you're looking for as well. So I'm always receptive to feedback. I can't always promise that like I can execute that feedback or that I can do it, but I'm never going to be mad at you for offering it. So anyway, let me give you a really quick rundown of what I'm going to be working with and on tonight. Do I have no, I do not. Okay. The piece that I'm going to be working on is called Fiona Butterfly Dragon. It's from Diamond Art Club. It was either Black Friday or Cyber Monday releases. It's part of their licensing agreement with Dragons and Beasties. And I sort of backed into doing this kit. It was not exactly planned, but I will explain more about that later. Let me first tell you the rest of the tools that I'll be using this evening. Now, you guys, I realized when I went to go pull coordinating accessories to take a start picture, which I do most of the time, not all of the time, but I have so much fun doing it. Sometimes I'm just not in the mood to, but this time I was delighted to see the sheer number of accessories I had that coordinated perfectly with this kit. And so while I promise that I do try to show a bit more variety and trying out different tools and accessories like in my WIP and Chats, you guys, I just truly could not resist the matching accessories for this kit, including for this WIP and Chat. So pen wise, this pen looks like it was literally made for this kit. It was not. I bought this several months ago, I think. It's from Lace and Lathe Works, and the colors in it are an utterly perfect match. I'm beyond obsessed. So that's from Lacen. And then this one is from C'est Plus Beau à Tours. I thought this one was especially cute because the cinnamon bits in it sometimes look like hearts. And Fiona Butterfly Dragon has like hearts in it. It's really stinking adorable. So those are my pens for the evening. This is one of the magic tray colors from Muni Made. You can see the shift from purple to pink. I was just so happy. This is one of their upgraded trays, which they launched like last summer, I think, where it has a little bit thicker walls, a little bit thicker, like all around, and then has like the cutouts here so that drills don't get stuck, and some other kind of nice little additions. I love both of their trays. Their upgraded trays are a tiny bit heavier, I have noticed, but I'm not mad. That's their large tray. And then I'm going to be using Not Your Mama's Mud in my single placer, which they don't have super fancy like branding and packaging. I don't care. It works really well for me. You see this one has been well used, but it's purple and it's called Lavender Dreams, so it just suits the painting really well. I'll be using putty from Randa's Crafty Corner in Pink Lemonade in my multi-placer. And then this minder was one of my very first minders from Agnes Little Minders. It's a handcrafted polymer clay dragon. And again, the pink, purple, and blue is just absolute perfect match for this kit. Let me shift these accessories. I don't have like the little sticker handy that I can show you guys easily, and I'm not going to go back and edit and like pop a picture up on the screen, but I'll link to the kit below. But this is the one. You can see we're upside down. This is the dragon's face. You can see it's got she has got like some blues in her wings, but then this piece is mostly pinks and purples. here are the sections. Like I finished the first couple of sections. I started at the top corner already. That's kind of like the top. And then her wings are black with these white cutouts with the different shapes and stuff. Let me see if I can get back to the angle we were at here so you can see at least most of the section I'll be working on here today. So yes, this is a section I've already started. Hopefully you're not going to be too mad at me about it. But let me, yeah, see now I'm like, shoot, how did I, that's good enough. You can't see the whole section, but again, I think you'll forgive me. So I do need to load up my pen with some putty and whatnot. I always do this in my videos. I do sometimes get questions about like if I have tips for loading up your pen with putty and stuff like that. I think this is a scent I haven't used before. I have a couple of different ways that I will load up my multi-placer with putty. The way I used to always do it, oh, it smells so good, even though my nose is kind of stopped up. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it does. It smells really good. Is I will either pinch it off and then roll it really thin and kind of push it in with my finger or a pair of tweezers. Or something I'm doing a little bit more often lately is I'll do a first pass where I go ahead and I like push into like the edge of the putty, and I do rock back and forth like each direction, like left and right and to the side, and then that's, oh, see, oh, that really didn't work this time. I didn't do it on a totally flat surface. That's honestly, that's on me. So we're gonna doctor this up. That was a user error, you guys. So here's what I typically do though. Instead is I will just peel it, hold on a second, and roll it and then just kind of like work it in there a little bit. So I just made a mess instead. That's completely my fault. Oh, someone come get me. Anyway, so this is kind of the way that I normally do it is I will just roll it, stuff it in there, and then go back and do like a little bit more. Like that's what I left this here for. Is yeah. Does it remind you of like rolling Play-Doh when you were a kid, like rolling out like to make like a snake or something? I don't know, you guys. I'm always trying to make myself like try new techniques, try new things, and half the time it just like why did I fix it if it ain't broke? Now it does take a little bit of extra time, I think, sometimes to load up some putty, but you guys, especially a product like Randa's Crafty Corner putty or like Enabler's Outpost Chit, I like Sensible by Design putty, those kinds of putties, they might take you a couple extra minutes to load up compared to loading up a pen with wax or something like that, but I find it's worth it because it lasts so long and it's so easy to work with. So those are just the ones that I've used and find to be relatively reliable. The nice thing is those ones have like different textures too. So depending like on your climate or your like personal way of diamond painting and stuff like that, you just kind of find what works for you. So we'll let this pen hang out. You're not really going to be able to see some of my background accessories because I've got you zoomed in as requested. But here, let me load up my single placer. Again, you guys, I'm a mess. Where are my tweezers? I think this is some older wax from the last time I really used this pen. All right. Anyway, how are you guys doing today? Happy Monday if you're watching this on the day it goes up. I never actually initially planned, like I never made a real intentional decision at first to be like, Mondays are going to be the days that I put up my WIP and Chats. That was not exactly a conscious decision. It just sort of happened organically, where I was just like, I like checking in at the end of my weekend. Like I'll film these either on Saturday or Sunday night because, hello, I am in my early 30s and have children. At this point in my life, I'm not going out and like partying on the weekends. But again, particularly because I have children and I have a kitten who has just decided to climb up on the table. We'll see if he decides to walk over and I'll have him make a little appearance. But, hey, get down. You're not supposed to be on the table. Get down. Get down. Don't make me use my mean mom voice on you. You're a cat. Okay. Oh no, now he's going to shake the table that has the camera arm on it because he's exploring that. Hey, get down. Get down. I know, you're adorable. Get down. Thank you. Okay. What was I saying? what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So I like filming WIP and Chats just as I'm relaxing on the weekend. It's a little breather from the busyness of the week with the kids' school schedules and running errands and stuff like that. It just turned out that way that I was like, oh, I guess the way this is working out is that Monday mornings are the days that my WIP and Chats go up. So, and I have noticed that, like, if there's a Monday that I don't have a WIP and Chat go up or something like that, I tend to hear from, someone will check in. They'll be like, are you okay? Is there a good WIP and Chat today? And so I try pretty hard to stick to that schedule, but it's actually not hard to do that because I enjoy doing these. It's really nice to come on and check in with you guys and chat and then hear from you in the comments about how you're doing and what you've been up to. So anyway, this is yet another new kit. I feel like I'm getting a little tiny bit of a complex about it where I'm like, ooh, that one has a little hole in it. Let's pick that one off. Where I'm like, oh, if I don't have a new kit, like a different kit week to week, you guys are going to be like, Katie, what's wrong? What are you doing? Are you okay? You're not going through kits as fast? But it's, again, that kind of just sort of happened accidentally. But let me tell you about this kit. So I am in the midst of a project, which I'm not going to share all the details on. I'm hoping actually that the video for said project is going to go up later this week. Sorry, I just have to wipe my nose off. I'm fighting off a little bit of a cold bug. So anyway, I wasn't necessarily intending on working on this kit, but it had something about it that I needed for this video that I want to do. And as I was looking at it, I was like, actually, this is going to be perfect timing for Valentine's Day. So yes, it is early February, but I'm still going to call this like, oh, it's like a little Valentine's kit. And maybe I'll extend, like I'll draw out how long I'm working on it for so that maybe I'll actually maybe finish it around Valentine's Day or something. But I thought between the colors and the fact that the dragon has hearts all over her, I'm like, yeah, no, this is perfect. And I've been also just thrilled and in love with the colors in this kit. Like I said, I've had the time of my life finding coordinating accessories, and if you've been around for a minute, you've likely heard me mention or have just noticed the pattern of pink is easily one of my favorite colors. I love pastel, like muted tones and pastels in general. It's really my happy place. I joke that it was because I was really insistent on not being a girly girl when I was growing up, and so now I'm making up for lost time and being like, it is really okay to just love what I love, and if I love pink sparkly things and dragons, like, you can pry that from my cold dead hands. Like, I'm just going to embrace the fact that these are the things that I love, and I don't have to let anyone make me feel bad about it, or I don't have to set this arbitrary expectation for myself that it's like, no, smash the patriarchy means you don't like the color pink. So anyway, so the colors in this kit, which here's the tray. Here's the spread of colors, by the way. So we have, we're real close up, you guys, my bad. So there's a couple of these other pastels, like this mint and stuff. There's a couple aquas, and then there's just shades of purple, lots of purple. There's more purples than pink in here, but there are a lot of lovely shades of pink. So anyway, that's the color spread we're working with. And so, like I said, no intention of working on this kit, truly. But when things really lined up and I was like, I need to work on this kit for this thing. And I'm sorry I'm being cryptic. I'm having a bit of a complex about being, ideas being lifted. And so I will, it's a personal problem. I'm sorry. I'm being vague and that's obnoxious. Anyway, the point is that I'm not mad that it turns out that I'm working on this kit. I'm actually extremely happy right now. So, the colors make me happy. And hopefully it's going to go pretty quickly too, because it's 50 by 50-ish by 65-ish. 50 by 60-ish? What's that say? Can I see the bottom of the camera? 51 by 61. 51 by 61? Yes. So hopefully this will be zippy. I will hopefully have up a post review for you guys on that carrot art kit that I just posted the completion photo on Instagram today. And so that one is done, and I just really want to collect my thoughts and put together that and make my notes in my logbook and stuff so that I can give you a really, there goes the kitten, give you a very thorough and honest like post review. Part of it is that that I'm giving it a little bit of space to breathe is because especially when a kit takes me longer than I'm expecting for me to complete, often by the time I complete it, I'm feeling a little bit of just like fatigue from the kit in general. And I'm afraid that that'll color my opinion when I go to share it. And so I'm like, if I know that there's going to be some kind of bias there, like I'm going to give it a minute to breathe and like let my mind get over the like, oh, I'm so glad that I'm done with this kit because it just felt like it took forever. Like, because I don't think like that's a really fair thing necessarily to have like heavily color my my opinions in a post review video. Like that's because that's on me. Like my set of expectations for myself and how fast I'm going to get through a kit and what I want from a kit. Like that's completely subjective, and I try to make my content as objective as possible. So that's why like I'm not rushing to put up that post review video. I'd actually planned to put it up this past weekend because I knew it would be done by then. But then I was just like, I don't think my head's in the right space for it just yet. So we're going to give it a little bit of time. And I hope that you guys won't take that too seriously, that I'm to heart, that I'm mentioning that here in this WIP and Chat. I mean, at least here I'm able to give you like the context and like the bias and be like, hey, I'm telling you this now, and I'm also telling you, like, don't take this too seriously, and know that it's like, this could just be one of Katie's personal flaws about wanting to be able to diamond paint kits at a certain pace. So I will say, though, it is refreshing to be working on a kit that is just lots of color blocking. It's kind of what I needed. It is kind of what I needed. And the colors in this one are really happy, too. So all around, just glad to be working on this kit at the moment. It's bringing me lots and lots of joy, and so I do have some, like I said, some fun content hopefully coming down the pipe here very soon. Like I have mentioned in some recent past videos, just how one of my goals and hopes for this year was just to really work on some content that's a little bit outside of just the usual stuff you're going to see here. Like, for example, things that are not going to go away. Like, you're always going to get WIP and Chats from me. You're always going to get small shop hauls and unboxings and post reviews from me and stuff like that. But now that I've settled into a decent rhythm with like those kinds of videos and can share them with you guys and create them regularly, that should free up my mind at least a little bit, I hope. I'm going to try anyway, to also try to stretch myself and also be putting out some content and coming up with some ideas that are outside of that box too. So that's one of the things I'm really trying to challenge myself with. I like when I look back at videos that I've done, like when I look back at like videos that I created last year, some goals that I met, like last year, it was like my diamond painting for beginners video that I finally kicked myself in the butt and put that together. Like I personally, like I'm proud of myself for doing that. I'm proud of that video. And some of these projects that I've taken on as well. It's like, I'm glad that I'm pushing myself to do these things. And I'm glad that it comes from, a place of like, my heart is genuinely there, because I never want it to become a numbers game for me. I remind myself of this regularly, that like I am doing this because I actually really, truly love it. And I think people can spot it from a mile away if you're not genuine. If you're in it to try to like play the numbers game, I think that, I don't know, maybe I just have a nose for it, and I'm not a huge fan of it. Like it rubs me the wrong way. It makes me feel icky. I'm like, I'm in this because I adore this craft, and I actually really enjoy creating content. Not that there aren't difficult days or some days where I'm like, oh, I just don't want to film today. But then, I take a week off or something, or I take the day off. I'm like, well, I'm just gonna let's listen to what my body and my mind are telling me for the moment and take a little breather, because I think people can tell when you're just faking it or forcing out content anyway. And so that's something that I kind of try to check myself on regularly as well. I want to challenge myself, but I don't want it to be for the wrong reasons. So I don't know. I'm a highly, highly introspective person. Like, I'm always questioning like my own motives, and just trying to make sure that my heart is in the right place and everything. And I try to surround myself with people that are really similar. Like, I find myself really drawn to people, whether it's creators or friends or relationships or just other people in the community. I definitely find myself drawn most to the people that it's like, it is so evident that this is just something that they enjoy, or some aspect of it is what they adore. And I think that's why most of us like are here. So yeah, but yeah, I know you guys might be a little tired of it at this point, but I've just been in a very sort of introspective and reflective mood. And that hasn't stopped. But yeah, all that to say, I'm really, truly enjoying for the moment, like, just stepping outside of my comfort zone a bit. And I also have to just continue to be thankful that, like I mentioned, I think maybe around a month ago at this point is when I had the realization, and I shared as much in a WIP and Chat, realizing that, oh my gosh, the medication that I was on for my anxiety and depression, that like it actually was being very detrimental to my mental health. And I didn't realize it until I accidentally weaned myself off of it. Do not recommend. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving medical advice. And this is definitely one of those like, do as I say, not as I do. I explained why that happened the way that it did. My whole family was incredibly sick, physically ill, the sickest I have been in a very, 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 very long time. Basically the whole month of December, and a lot of that time I couldn't keep anything down. And so that's why I say it really wasn't intentional that I came off of that medication. But then once I was off of it, realized like I feel way more functional. Like, I still struggle very much with aspects of my mental health, but like I have more energy and I struggle a little bit less with executive dysfunction off of this medication. And holy cow, no, that was no longer working for me. It maybe helps with my anxiety, but not my depression. It exacerbated my depression. Anyway, so I think that I'm experiencing a lot of lightness from that still, and this feeling of like, wow, I feel like I can do more, and like I want to do more. Like, it's not just like, oh man, I really should try to do something besides like the same boring usual stuff. It's not that feeling at all. It's the like, just that sort of spontaneous, genuine emotion and ideas of like, ooh, I could do this. Like, oh, this would be really enjoyable to do. Oh, would this be a fun challenge for myself? And I still just feel really grateful that I'm able to be in that space, and that's where my brain is right now, because that's not usually where it is. And I know for many of us here that struggle with our mental health, like that's what we badly want. That's the place we badly want to be, but it's such a struggle to get there sometimes. Anyway, yeah, part of that has just had me in a really introspective mood in general, and just, yeah. I'm enjoying, speaking of kind of like related, I am thoroughly enjoying having my mornings back. Like, this could also be helping, with the kids, specifically Micah's school schedule changing. He goes in to school later and he gets home later. And I have 2 more hours to my morning now, where I was basically, because I had to get up with him so early and then I would go back to bed. It was like, I felt like I would barely have time to get anything done by the time I would get myself back up, but then had to be home in time to get him off the bus. Him going into school later and now getting home later, like now because I get to sleep in just a little bit more, it's not as much work, you know, only having to get up with Connor. Like I don't have to get dressed. I don't have to put on pants because Connor can I just open the door and he walks himself out to the bus. When I had to walk Micah out to the bus, it was like, I had to put on a bra. I had to put on pants. Like, who wants to live that life and wake up that much? I had to get him dressed. Like, Micah's just much more involved to get ready for school. But now it's like I can just autopilot it or to have Adam get up with Connor. And then when I put Mike on the bus, then I'm ready to just be awake for the morning. And then not only am I then awake from the moment he gets on the bus, but then I have extra time to get stuff done because he's getting home later anyway. So I have had a much easier time with like getting errands taken care of. I am back to getting filming done in the mornings, which that I was really struggling with his earlier schedule. And so I really love having that. Like I'm able to eat lunch before he gets home. And it's like I usually have time to like run an errand or two and film a video or two and have a little bit of downtime. Like that is magical, completely magical to have. And I feel like a game changer even after just 1 week of that. So I'm super stoked about that. And it's helped with my energy levels too. I think probably like the sleep situation with being able to sleep in more. I feel better physically and mentally. So I'm thankful for that. Speaking of Micah, this first week at the new school, with the new schedule, with the new teacher has gone really well. Really well. His new teacher has been very communicative, and seems very sweet and very just sort of in tune. And I hope that this bodes well. And this means it's going to be a really nice fit for Micah, for this second half of the year. I think Micah is much happier being able to sleep in more. And so I think that is absolutely making a difference for him and for us. And the only thing that they had mentioned was that on that very first day, when he got off the bus, they had to walk right by the playground to go into the building. And so naturally, Micah, thought like, oh, we're going to go play. I mean, he's in a new place. He doesn't know the new routine yet or anything. Not a big deal. And so they did have to like kind of walk him through that transition. That was just on day one. And it was more just a matter of like, he doesn't know what the routine and schedule was. They know that they helped him through that transition. And once he knows like, okay, we don't play on the playground right after we get off the bus in the morning, like he'll be good. He's very much one of those kids. He's like, you tell me what the rules are and I'll play by them. And I'll know exactly how to try to break them. He's definitely more mischievous than his older brother is. Connor is very, very much a rule follower, kind of takes after his mother, just a little bit. And Mike, on the other hand, just has that twinkle in his eye. And it's so funny that other people notice it. Like I was in someone's Patreon. They have a monthly Zoom, and Micah came over to say hi while I was sort of just chatting in there. And he like climbed up on my lap, and like multiple people in the Zoom that saw him were like, wow, you could see that mischievous glint in his eye and that smirk. Like he has this cute little mischievous smirk. And I loved it because one of the gals in there is definitely, I think she lives in the UK, but she's like, oh, he's cheeky. And I think that's such a cute word that's not really a phrase we use in American English. I think that's very much like a British English thing. And so I thought that phrasing, like using that to describe Micah was like, it just cracked me up. I was like, but that's perfect. Like that's truly like the association that my brain has with the word cheeky totally fits like how I see Micah's personalities. That gave me a good chuckle. Connor is over the next month, like it started this past week, I believe, but then it's going to continue over the next month with spending more and more time in his Gen Ed, which stands for General Education, which is just a standard classroom, like not special ed, just Gen Ed, General Education. He's spending, sorry to sniff there, you guys, that was, sorry. That seems to be, I think, going well. They're just going to be gradually increasing like his time in there over his time in his special ed class here over the next month. And then he'll be 100% in there by, I think, the first or second week of March. I think, yeah, I'm not sure which date, if that was a Monday or Friday. Anyway, it doesn't really matter, but I think that's going well. He brought home his first, like, I think they're shifting over to having him now do the homework that is sent home with the Gen Ed class as opposed to the special ed class. So that's a bit of a transition. So I'll have to kind of work through like, okay, this is what this kind of homework looks like and that sort of thing. But yeah, I think it's going well. I haven't really heard otherwise, though. I am gearing up, and I'm gonna try to talk to his teacher and get a better sense for what to expect from this. I think that this is sort of an automated process, but we do now have to have a meeting with, I think it's with the principal, about Connor's attendance because of the school that he has missed. And when his teacher sent me a message and she's like, hey, so-and-so would like to set up a meeting to talk about Connor's attendance. Do mornings or afternoons work better for you? And I emailed her back and I told her, I was like, mornings are probably best, blah, 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 especially if it's in person. And then I asked her, and I want to get further clarification from her because she didn't really respond to this part of my email. I just said, do I need to bring documentation for the reason that he's missed the school that he's missed? And I said, because aside from our pre-planned family trip, which we had submitted to you guys and all of that, and he missed 3 days of school, which is not nothing, but it's just 3 days over a long holiday weekend. He missed 3 days of school. I said prior to that, I said every single one was because he was genuinely sick. And I told her, I was like, when we've tried to send him back sooner because we do not want him to miss school, we would rather he would be in school. We know the value of school. Like we are highly educated people. Like we get it. And okay, so by highly educated, I just mean, that's going to come off weird. No one take it some type of way. Okay. I just mean Adam and I have college degrees, I guess. Like, okay, what I meant by it was just that we see the value of schooling. Like we're not trying to treat it lightly or just like, why does he have to be in school? Like that's not the attitude that we have. I guess was just the point I was trying to make. I don't know if I made that better or worse, but look, it's just a phrase that just means that you have a college degree, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I'm sorry. I easily want to panic about what I say being misconstrued. Anyway, I just asked him, like, do I need to bring documentation? Because literally when we've tried to send him back too soon, or when it's like borderline as per the school guidelines for illness, especially in post-Rona times or current, like shutdown, like school shutdowns because of the thing. Like the guidelines are still here because this is still a thing and we're following them. And I've said, when we've sent him back to school too soon, you guys just send him home. Like what do I need to bring to this? Because I don't know if this is going to be just a formality or if she's actually going to treat us as though, like we're not taking our child's education seriously or something. And his teacher acknowledged, she responded, she's like, yeah, when Connor's sick, he just loses all color and he, like, you can just tell. And she's like, I don't know what she said. She might have said like, I'm sorry or something like that. And I just want to be like, okay, but you didn't answer my question. Like, I need to know what to expect from this meeting. I'm not looking to go in here for a fight, but like if I'm going to get a hard time, then I'm going to bring documentation to back all of this up. I'm not letting my child miss school willy-nilly. I really am sensitive to the thought of being treated that way, but I'm just going to try to go in with a really cool head and let's just have a conversation. Like, let's talk about it. I would like to hear if you if the principal's going to say like he needs to not be missing more school. Like, I want to be able to say, like, present her documentation and sort of just say, like, in a non-sarcastic, non-sassy way, like, what should I have done differently? What did you expect me to do differently when my child is he's too sick to come to school as per the guidelines, as per my last email. Like, I'm using my office talk slang that is like code for like sassiness, but I don't want that either. Like, I more just want to be like, true, like, genuinely, what did you want to have happened in this situation? So you can tell that's weighing on my mind. We'll see what his teacher says if she comes back with like, okay, we're going to meet on this date or whatever, and we'll go from there. So, and my hope is just that it's like an automated process and that this is just like they're required to do this because of like state funding or something. It's fine. It'll all be fine. I'll do my deep breathing. And like I said, I'm going to go in with a clear head, not looking for a fight. Like, we're all on the same team here. It's okay. Like, we all want what's best for Connor. That was a really long tangent, you guys. But I just have to say, by the way, let me shift you so you can see a little bit more of the section I'm working on. There we go. After last week's WIP and Chat, when I had shared just some general updates with you guys about the kiddos and what they're going through, I was very touched by the kindness that you all shared. I was really, truly touched, and it's like kind of going to make me tear up because I'm just that emotional kind of person. But I just, reading your comments and your really kind words about like, oh, this is so awesome that like Connor's getting to do this, or oh, Micah's going to do great with moving to this new class, and oh, I'm thinking of you, I hope it all goes well. Like, all of those kinds of comments that were just so encouraging and so like, I felt like you were cheering on my kids alongside me. And I'm seriously, I get weepy about anything involving my kids and like just uplifting things, and it just it kind of blew me away to sit there and think like, wow, there are these people that like I've never met before, and that many of you I don't know very well at all. I recognize your name in the comments or something like that, but like I may not have even ever had a conversation with you before, but like, you're out there, like, you're rooting for my family, and you took the time to write something really nice, and it just made my heart so happy. So thank you for doing that. And someone said something really darn nice in the Facebook group earlier, our Diamonds and Emeralds Facebook group, and that just really made my day. And so I struggle quite often with imposter syndrome and sort of feeling like, what right do I really have to be like putting out like diamond painting tutorial videos or putting out WIP and Chats, thinking like, really, like, this is so pretentious to think that people just want to hear about your life and your family and stuff. And like, am I really contributing anything to the community of value, that sort of thing? Like, that's just that like classic imposter syndrome type stuff. So I decided that for those days when I really am fighting my own brain with that sort of thing, I was like, I'm going to start just quietly keeping like a little folder on my phone where that I just have labeled like encouragement, or like, it was encouragement reminders or just encouragement. And I just when I need a reminder, when I need to like kick my own brain's butt, I can go to that and look at like just screenshots I've taken of things people have shared about how I might have helped or made some kind of difference or something like that. Now, let me be clear here just for a second, tangent. I'm not on a fishing expedition here. This is me just being in my feelings, and like when I feel gratitude, I feel like an outpouring of it, and I have to like share that, or I just feel like I'm just gonna, I don't know, cry happy tears like I just did anyway. But I feel a very deep desire to just like give back and let you know that like, hey, you made a difference to me by mentioning this thing, or by saying something kind, and I want to do the same. So anyway, I just wanted to take a moment to share my thanks for that. While I do know, I'm aware that there have just been a lot of things kind of going on. I mean, there's often stuff going on where there's just, I don't know, hurt feelings or strong feelings with various parts of the community. Like, I am trying to focus on the good and being grateful for the pockets of true, genuine people. And there are really wonderful and good people here. And that is what I am here for and what I am grateful for. So, yay, warm fuzzies. I have, just in case you haven't checked it out yet, if you are on Facebook and you'd like a really just warm community to be a part of, one where we just really try to focus on building one another up and being helpful and being supportive. I do share a Facebook group with my sweet friend Lindsay from Emeralds and Fairy Lights, and I get to work with some very dear friends that help with moderating that group. Jacqueline who's Diamond Art Sparkles on Instagram, and a very, very dear and longtime friend of mine. And then Kat and Julie, who you probably know from if you're in the VIP group, which, by the way, Julie just got married like 2 days ago. So congrats, Julie. We work really hard to make the Diamonds and Emeralds Facebook group like just a really safe place. That kind of has weird implications, I suppose. Just like a really life-giving place where it's like, we're all here for this craft. The only thing that might get controversial in there is that we only allow licensed artwork, and for shops, like we just showcase shops that have 100% legally licensed artwork. And I know some people have some strong feelings about that. Yeah, so people have said some unfavorable things about Lindsay and I somewhat recently as well, about just being like licensing snobs, and which is, that's okay. That's not going to change how we feel about things, but that is the one thing that I suppose you could say is controversial about our Facebook group. But truly, no, it is a place where people are always happy to be helpful and sharing wonderful suggestions and their thoughts on like products or kits that they've worked with and stuff like that. So I always have it linked in my description in case you'd like to go check it out. Just make sure you answer the questions when you request to join the group. There will be like 3 questions that you just need to respond to, and then agree to the group rules. And we check that pretty regularly and try to go through the requests at least a couple of times a day. But yeah, so other updates, other fun stuff. I'm sorry, I have to keep dabbing my nose because it's running away from me. Just a little bit of a cold. I'm having a lot of sinus pressure that is giving me some sinus headaches. And it's kind of sinus pressure that like makes my teeth ache. I don't know if you guys have ever had that kind of thing. Like literally like your top teeth, like it makes that and your jaw ache because that's like where your sinuses are. I've had some of that, which is kind of annoying. I don't know if I got it when we went to Disney or if it was like right before, because my kids are in school. And so frankly, I'm shocked that I didn't get sick sooner. Micah had a little bit of a runny nose as well. But speaking of, Disney. So I did go to Disney with Adam on Friday. We got to go with my sweet friend Christiane. and her beau, Spencer, and had just the most fun time ever. So a huge thank you to Christiane. It was her birthday too, so that was really fun. She let us like hang out with her around and crash her birthday. But she has a channel, but she's also super busy, like working at Disneyland. But we had a really wonderful day. I wasn't sure like how long I was going to be up for staying. Pre-Rona, we had annual passes. They now call them magic keys. We had annual passes, and because we're local, and we would go usually just for like a couple hours in the morning. Like we might take the kids for a couple hours on a weekend morning, or I'd go on a weekday like before Micah or Connor were in school. Like I'd take them for a couple hours and then come home. So not really like go and stay the whole day type thing. But it was like, well, we don't have passes anymore. We haven't been in forever. We kind of want to take advantage and stay for as long as we can. But just like historically, I don't have the endurance for that. So I was just really unsure. I was like, well, we can just kind of play it by ear. I tried to dress like really comfortably, and it was kind of a toss up. I was like, do I wear my like extremely perfectly broken in Birks, which go ahead and judge me for the Birks, you guys. Pry them away from me. You can't. I love them. Funnily enough, a lot of people that give me grief over wearing Birks are guilty of wearing Crocs. And I just am like, look, if you wear Crocs, if you wear those abominations, then you have no room to give me grief about Birks. I say this all with love and teasing, just in case you're worried. I say it all in love. You love what you love. You wear what works for your feet. But no, I regularly get teased by friends and viewers and stuff about my love of my enjoyment of wearing Birkenstocks. But no, they hold up really well. I can wear them for years. They mold to fit my feet. So anyway, I don't have like a really fantastic fitting pair of tennis shoes. So I was like, let me do the Birks. And unfortunately, I still had sore feet. That may have just happened no matter what, though, because look, you go to Disney, you are walking, like you are getting those steps in and then some. And it was fine. Like we did like get to sit down and hang out a decent amount, and that helps to sort of like get a breather and stuff like that. But yeah, we actually made it a lot longer than I was expecting. We made it until like early evening. And then I was just like, my everything hurts. It kind of hit all at once. I was like, Adam, I think we're not going to be able to stay for the night shows. Like, I'm so tired. Like, I could fall asleep like right now. Because we got there, we walked into the park by 9 o'clock in the morning. And then by, like 6, 7 o'clock, I was like, I think we need to go. I think I'm done. I think my body is toast. I think it's telling me we got to leave. And so we got to do so much. Like, it was totally fine that's when we left. I was excited because there had been some new things that had opened since the last time I had been there. And I was excited to check them out, like the Avengers campus. And we got to go there. I was wearing my Loki shirt. I had my Loki Loungefly backpack. So I was very happy to go and check that out. I did not see Loki. There was no Loki character walking around, but it's fine. I did see Thor and Black Widow and Black Panther. Didn't take pictures with any of them, though I did vlog a little bit while we were there for my Patreon vlog. And yeah, we got to walk around there. We did not make it onto the newest Star Wars ride, the Rise of the Resistance, but I'm going back later this week, which this never happens. Like, I haven't been to Disney in like 3 years, but I'm going twice in like less than 2 weeks, because Kate is coming down for a visit, and we're going to do Disney one day. Oops, just throw my pen. And I'm hoping that maybe we'll be able to get onto Rise of the Resistance then. But we did have this like amazing interaction with someone that worked in the Star Wars area. We like played, is it Sabat is the name of the game? And it was like this whole thing. Like, he just came over to us and randomly started up this conversation. And I was like, hey, can I teach you this fun like card game? And it was all like, they stay in character. They stay completely in character. Like, he had this whole backstory for his character. Like, he stayed in character the whole time. And it was so fun. And we had some hilarious laughs because we were convinced that like Christiane had hustled us at this game. And she was like, actually, no, like that just so happened to work out. Like, no, I actually am not that smart. And it was just so much fun. It was magical. And we ate lots of delicious food. Like we did a character dining experience at the Plaza Inn. And then Adam and I ate, like there's this pier area over in California Adventure because we did have park hoppers. That was really nice. Where there's this pier that like where you can get like alcohol in Disneyland, which is in California Adventure, and just sit and kind of people watch. And so we had gone over there, and it was a really nice day. And we did go without our kids. Adam's dad came up and spent the day with our kiddos, which they had school half the day, so it wasn't as huge of an ask for him. But it was just such a special day. It a little bit makes me want to consider getting annual passes at some point again in the future, but they're so incredibly expensive right now, you guys. It's just... even if Adam weren't job hunting right now or in between jobs and job hunting, like I don't know that we'd be able to stomach that. But Adam has had a couple of interviews. It's moving a tiny bit slower than I would like. So I would be beyond grateful if you guys would continue to send positive thoughts his way. I'm trying not to be too anxious. But it would be really good if he could have a job again soon. For a number of reasons. I am also feeling a little bit anxious about like the construction on our like downstairs area where we had like the water damage, and that's just like we're going to be prepping for that later this week because construction will start a week from the day this video goes up is when construction is going to start. But it'll be fine. We just have to like prep things. Like we have to move our fridge and move X, Y, and Z. It's going to be like a whole thing, but it'll be okay. In happier news, like I mentioned, we're having someone come visit us this week. You guys, Kate is coming down from Oregon and she's going to stay with us over a long weekend, and I'm beyond excited. Kate she's Pixie Sticks. She's the one that I actually did like the artist interview for last week's sneak peek. But yeah, she's coming down for a visit. We've never met in person, but it's going to be so much fun. We have a lot in common. And so we're going to do Disney, and I'm sure we'll find some other fun stuff to do. And I'm sure we will also do plenty of diamond painting together. So I am stoked for all of that. But maybe I'll see if she wants to hang out with me in my WIP and Chat next week. She'll be here. We could chat. It'll be really fun. So there's lots of good things coming this week and other things that like I am a little bit stressed about, but I really think it's all going to be good. The good is going to outweigh the stressful stuff for sure. So anyway, you guys, we're getting close here to the 1 hour mark. So I'm going to, hit my phone apparently. Work on wrapping up here. Do I have anything else that I want to mention? What was the skip? I wrote down. Yes, I take little notes. Skip updates, because I know you guys enjoy hearing the kitten updates. So we are officially no longer closing him up in Connor's room at night, and he and Dolce are figuring it out. They've continued to improve, even though, it's been a little bit slower process than maybe we would have expected or preferred, but they are definitely figuring it out. And I think maybe she's just still got a little bit of that like grumpy old man syndrome where she's like, you are too playful. I need you to calm down. Like, slow your roll, dude. There's a little bit of that vibe that she gives, but they're getting along a little bit. There's a bit less hissing and a bit more just like, okay, I tolerate you, which from a senior cat, you guys, we're gonna call that a win. I feel like I'm about to sneeze, and I really don't want my drills to go everywhere. Excuse me. Do I have one more, or is it just one? Oh man, this runny nose is no bueno. Again, I don't know if Micah brought it home and shared it with me, or if I picked up something from Disney, but I think it started too early for it to have been Disney. It almost feels like allergies, especially with that sinus pressure. But even the non-drowsy allergy medication just makes me feel really wiped out. I'm not a fan of it. Yes, I've tried several. No, I have not tried prescription. I don't really have allergies bad enough to think I need prescription meds. It's just like when I have like what it feels like a flare-up every once in a while. I'm like, I just want to take an allergy medication, but then it's like they all just make me super sleepy. Yeah, not a fan of that, but what can you do? Anyway, let's see. This week, what's coming? Some of the usual suspects video-wise. I might try to get in a small shop haul this week because I do have a bit of a backlog. I have a video that is going to take just a little bit more work and time to put together that does involve this kit that I'm going to really, really try hard to get up this week as well. And yeah, some of the usual stuff. Maybe something with Kate as well, because she's going to be here. So anyway, guys, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, how about... So there's a butterfly emoji, right? Some kind of butterfly emoji. Because this is Fiona Butterfly Dragon. We just did that one color in this section. That nice hot pink magenta color. Ooh, let me just smack that again. You guys, I am so sorry. Yeah, how about a butterfly emoji if you made it all the way to the end? Thank you guys for hanging out with me on my WIP and Chat. It was fun to put a good dent in this. I'm going to finish up this section for sure this evening and maybe go ahead and get into the next row a little bit as well, because I think I want to get 2 rows done and that'll be enough for the video I want to do. Being so obnoxiously cryptic. Are you guys mad at me yet? My apologies. Okay, so butterfly emoji, let me know what you're up to, how your week has been, and if you are working on anything in particular during this WIP and Chat, feel free to let me know that as well. So thank you guys for hanging out. If you made it all the way to the end, by the way, and you're not already subscribed, you would probably enjoy it here. So feel free to hit the subscribe button. I try to share lots of videos, including unboxings, reviews of kits that I complete, which I do try to complete kits regularly, small shop hauls, WIP and Chats like this, and hopefully more like how-tos and tutorials and other helpful sorts of videos. So anyway, my friends, thanks again for hanging out with me today. I hope that you have an amazing start to your week. Please stay safe and take care of yourself, including your mental health. And I will talk with you again in next week's WIP and Chat or any of my other videos this week. Anyway, friends, have a good one. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.